Hey, welcome everybody to RECON. It's Friday. Don't you love Fridays? RECON stands for Real Estate Conversations. And there's a lot of people out there teach you what to say. We'll do that a little bit, but we want to teach you how to think. And on Fridays, our Mastery Day, and we try to do something different. So we are going to have Mastery Friday. We're going to play a game show. And the game show is called Find Their Why. The agents that are participating live are going to have 5 questions, only 5 in the discovery to get to their why. They may want to, whatever question they want to ask. And in reality, when you have an interview or a strategy session with a buyer or seller, you have more time and more than 5 questions. I just ran this through with my team and discovered something interesting. Matt, I'll share maybe after we do a few. So Matt, you're in the control tower. I think Mike is ready to go with me, right?
We got Mike up first.
Yes, sir.
By Darlene. What now they're picking the scenario, right?
No, they don't know the scenario. I'm picking.
Oh, well, but it's 1 through 5 though. How many scenarios?
1 through 5, yes, but
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So here we go, Michael. I am a seller, and we are at the table. We went through your listing presentation, and this is what I say to you. And you get 5 questions from this point on, and I have the little scorecard behind me, and I'll count questions. Okay, Michael, I won't sell for less than 900,000.
You won't sell for less than 900,000. So, Denny, where did that number come from?
I determined that's the number based on some sales that have happened and based on some situations that I'm working with.
Okay. And God forbid you're not able to get the 900,000. Where does that leave you?
I'll stay here.
You'll just stay. Okay. So what prompted you to want to sell in the first place?
I really have too much house.
You got too much house. Okay. Is that something that you and Mrs. Denny agreed upon?
Yes. One more question.
Okay. So where does this take you? Once you get more land or
land.
Yeah.
Are you eavesdropping on Tiffany in my conversation?
Okay. So that's good to know. That's good to know. And whoa, what if
I'm going to pause just for a second.
Okay.
I'm learning on this exercise. Now, normally Michael is very fluid and he would have a bunch of questions to ask. However, because we've limited it to 5, now he's going through his Rolodex in his mind thinking, how can I come up with the right question? Which means, and I know the road you want to drive down. It's criteria.
Oh, right.
Motivation. One more question.
Motivation.
One more.
Denny, can I be direct with you?
Is that your question?
Yes.
That's 5.
No, you can't. Because you ran out of questions.
Who's next?
We're going to go to Darlene. Darlene, you're with me.
And you can pick a different scenario, Matt.
Yep, I'm picking. Bear with me. All right. So, Darlene, I'm a buyer, and I say to you, you ready? You off mute?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. And then, Fanda, do me a favor, my love. Everybody that's not talking right now, other than Denny and I, mute yourself. That way we don't have any interruptions. I'm a buyer. I say to you, we need a big yard, 4 bedrooms, a pool, and a certain school district. Go.
Okay there, Matt. You have quite a long checklist of items. So I'm hearing what you say you need. I'm just going to repeat those back to you. You said a big yard, 4 bedrooms,
Mm-hmm. Pool.
pool,
And a certain school district.
Bird Bath School, Bird Bath High School.
Bird bath. Yeah. It's a good one.
Okay. Well, you've given me 4 criteria that you're looking for in your home. If you had to limit to just 3 of those, your top 3, the most important ones, because quite honestly, as a former,
Short.
okay, give me your top 3. Come on,
There you
Matt.
go. That's short.
If I had to narrow it down to 3, I would say school district, pool, big yard.
Okay. I need a little more clarity. Why are these things important to you?
Huh. Well, I don't know. Kids are older, and so school districts are important. Um, just want a little more space, stuff, activities, that kind of thing.
Okay. So, are we changing? Okay, so since school district's important to you, and that will probably be my focus, can you tell me what would happen if I found
Can I ask you a
you?
question?
Okay.
Why would school districts be your focus?
I'm wondering the same thing. Is there somebody telling you, feeding you information that we're not hearing?
Yeah,
I'm a
I mean,
former
this is
I'm a former school teacher, so um, I would start in assessing the districts and then find your properties based on
but
that, since you said it's important to you.
but I mean, Darlene, I'm coming to you, but how do you what gives you the inclination as my realtor that the school district should be the focus though? I don't
You gave me your top 3. You said pool, yard, and school district. You took out the 4 bedrooms. Okay.
Okay. Right, but what leads you down the I mean, we've got a 3-pronged fork right now and you're choosing the school district as the fork to drive down. What
I just picked a fork because you're in
Okay, you just picked the
Florida and
fork.
yeah, I picked a fork. You're in Florida, there are lots of pools, so okay.
Hang on,
So you must
Darlene.
have a big yard with the pool.
Darlene, hang on a minute. What he's
I'm sorry.
attempting to get through to everybody is you're driving on your road, not his road.
There you go.
That's true. That's
That,
true.
So
that
it's
I was
always better to drive on their road, Matt.
Yeah, and I was doing it without breaking character. So I'm not arguing with you.
Okay.
I'm actually giving you coaching while being the prospect.
Right.
So think of you got 2 questions left. And so let your first thought be your breath, your first word be your breath. Now I've got 3 things that I want. What do you want? What the 3 most important things. What would be another question you could ask me?
So I need to know when you are hoping to find this property. What's your timeline?
Well, kids aren't getting any younger. So soon, real soon.
All right, so my last question here. Um, mm, we've consolidated your list, and heaven forbid,
How many
we
people feel her pain right now?
Mm-hmm.
yes, please.
So hang on, Darlene.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give everyone a clue right here. All right. This is a teaching moment. So pay attention.
Okay.
Usually when it comes to their why, their first why may talk logically, right? Or logistical. And most of her questions, and the next one's going to be, and this is what she's struggling with, is going to be criteria or logistics. The deeper why is often emotional. Now, I'm going to ask you, Darlene, here's your hint. If you're buying a vowel here, he's mentioned it twice. Go back to his last statement. What did he say in his last statement that might give you a clue on what to use your final question on? He mentioned it twice in his conversation, but he mentioned it on his last statement. What was the word? It's 4 letters. K-I-D-S.
The kids. The kids.
Might give you a hint. So ask a question about what he means by that.
Okay, so
I said, and I'll repeat what I said. Kids aren't getting any younger. So we need to be in the home soon, real soon.
all right. So then, since it's important to you to have this new home with your kids, tell me how important or why that's such a focus for you. They're going to grow up there. So,
Well, the problem is,
how
the
old
problem
are
is,
they?
well, the problem is that, well, that was 2 questions you got.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
but
Trying to
the
read it.
the problem is they are grown up, and this might be our last chance to, really cement a relationship with them.
So
Okay.
now again, let's go on number next.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit from that.
I'm going to go back. Yeah, who's with me, Matt?
You've got Jose Hernandez.
Hey, Hernandez. My name is Jose Hernandez. Okay. I'm going to go back to the same scenario. I won't sell for less than 900,000. You got 5 questions, Jose.
What's important about that number?
Well, I need that number. Other homes have sold in the past at 900,000, and I think that that's the kind of the number that I think that I need to get.
Okay, you say need. What do you mean by that?
I don't want to leave money on the table. I want to get what my house is worth. I need a win.
Okay. And when we do sell this house, where are you going to next?
Not sure.
If there was a way that we can get the 900 that you're hoping for, is there anything else keeping us from moving forward today?
No. Yeah, one more.
So you're saying that I'm your guy to help you if we could agree on this 900, right?
There you go. That's 5. Are we any closer to my why? So
Man,
what
you
I'm
were
learning here, Matt, and this is kind of natural. I think this is probably a pretty good exercise here. It's kind of like isometrics. You're pushing on an immovable object, is that we are so conditioned to drive down criteria questions that we're never really getting to their real why.
Yeah. Where's Gary Ubaldini when you need him?
Yeah. So Matt, you're back up. Are you going to use the same scenario?
No, let's because I want to keep everybody on their toes and not allow them to think that they're figuring it out as we go. I am with Tiffany. Oh, you know what? Denny, we can break scenario because I got a call with Tiffany tomorrow and we can just role play that right now.
Is your call regarding this?
My call is regarding me buying a property. You want to play?
5 questions, Tiffany.
All right, Tiffany. So I'm a buyer.
He wants to go to Mississippi.
I do. We're literally moving. We're going to get property in Mississippi. So I'm a buyer. You get 5 questions. And here's what I'm going to say to you. Give me 1 second. I'm looking at the scenarios just to see if I can kind of link them in there. All right, I'm ready. So I am going back to the other scenario, Denny, in some way.
Okay.
So Tiffany, we need it minimum 25 acres. Minimum. I don't want 100, 25 to 50, maybe a little bit more. Um, I don't want to be any further away from a major city than, say, 30 to 45 minutes, whether it's Hattiesburg or, but I don't want to be further than 30 to 45 minutes away from a major city. And I need utilities. So I want, power, water. Doesn't have to be on site, but it needs to be there. Like I need to be able to have it. I don't want to be running off a generator. And I don't want a property that is been logged over and over again, but I also don't want a property that is just solely trees. So I want, a little bit of cleared land, could have trees. And lastly,
Oh my God.
no wetlands. Well, let's if I get 50 acres, I don't want 49 acres of wetlands.
You got 5 questions. If you can nail this in 5 questions, you're going to be the next recon instructor.
Oh my gosh. Well, let me tell you, just because I'm licensed in both Mississippi and Louisiana, I do know a lot about the wetlands, and I will absolutely make sure that that doesn't happen. But this is all great information, Matt. May I ask what is bringing you to Hattiesburg, Mississippi?
Beautiful first question. I'll give you surface level.
Hmm.
Land is just too damn expensive in Florida. I missed my opportunity. I'm born and raised in a farming town. I'm like literally I'm standing right now in the farming town. It's all neighborhoods now.
Mm-hmm.
Just missed my opportunity. I could have bought 40 acres and a mule for 10 cents and a bubblegum wrapper, 20 years ago. And so now I'm just looking for land. I'm looking for land that's affordable, but also not going to be in the path of development in the next 15 minutes.
Okay. Um, So how much time have you given yourself? Like, is this something that you want to get done within the next 3 months, 6 months? Are you waiting for the right piece that to just pop up and you'll
You
write?
may want to just ask the question, Tiffany. Don't give him a checklist.
It's all right.
How long have you given yourself to this goal? Or
Well, here's the cool thing. I'm not a needy Nina.
okay.
So like I don't need to be there tomorrow. I would genuinely like to get a piece of property though in the next 2 years. And I'm ready to write a check as soon as we see one that makes that checks the boxes.
I introduced you guys. I get a referral fee. All right.
That's right. That's right.
You get question 3 now.
He's going to send you the referral form.
I know you're living right now in Florida. Is this a place that you are looking to maybe actually move to one day?
Not full time.
What? Not full time. Okay. That's 3.
Yeah, not full time. No, this is our um get the hell out of Dodge property. Just because this area is really, really developed. It's so congested now. Where you're at is what, well, I think where you're at is kind of what I had 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I can just drive forever and see farm and trees and yeah. So
Got it.
Yeah.
We got to keep moving.
Okay, Matt. So it sounds like when you had missed out on that, and just getting back to a lifestyle in a place that you come back to sounds important. Oh gosh, I had a good one and I just lost it. When you see yourself escaping to this property and you're there with your family and you're doing your thing, can you describe to me what that time is, what you're doing, so I can best find what you're looking for outside of this? Are you dirt biking with your kids? Or are you sitting on a porch? I want to know what that looks like.
Checklist again.
What's it going to do for me?
What's getting this property going to do for you and your family?
So he's thinking, but I'm going to ask Matt why he's thinking. Are you thinking because you don't know, or are you thinking to be strategic so you don't spill the beans?
I really want to go. I'm trying not to spill the beans, but it's like, what's it going to do for me is like, that's that Gary Ubaldini. Why? Eventually you get to the, you know,
Yeah.
the crux of it. I tell you, this is what it's going to do for me. At some point in the next 5 years, I want to have the ability to walk away from all of this. And I want to have a place to go to where I'm no longer, I want to I want to have the ability to walk away from all this. And I also want to prove to myself that I don't have to stay here to have significance. So I want my own piece of the pie. I want to go somewhere where I'm not Matthew the realtor, I'm not Matthew the coach, and prove that I can kind of establish a homestead and build significance there.
So this is a real, I'm going to editorialize. I'm going to be John Gruden for a minute.
Mhm.
You guys get ready for your last question, Tiffany. Here's what I'm learning watching this. I want everybody to realize it. Criteria stuff is pretty simple, black and white. 5 miles from town, I want a pool. When you start getting into the emotional, and Matt is actually processing this, it's thickets. Now you're going through thickets because there's a lot of things that are kind of bubbling up. How many cents that my mind's going a lot of different directions on what's really driving him. However, so what I'm suggesting is when we start getting to their real why, it's not going to be cut and dry. It's not going to like fit, a puzzle piece fits right in. It's going to take work.
Well, and we can move on to the next. So this is all very real, Tiffany. I had this here, just so you guys know, and I lost. Yeah, and I had this here, and I lost it. It was only 5 acres, but I had this here, and it was in my past marriage, and I lost it.
She gets one more question. One more question.
Yep. And so this is going to be that I'm still answering your question, but this is the last thing I'll say to answer it. This is just going to be my ascension, my phoenix moment. You know how the phoenix, they burn, they go, they turn to ashes and then they are reborn. They are reborn from it. This is that for me.
Last question.
Matt, I kind of feel with you because being on a team and going out on my own was like the same thing for me. And I had something to prove that I could still be a realtor without the help of others. So I feel you on that. What is it outside of filling the criteria to just find that piece? What else is it that I can do for you right now that you genuinely would find valuable?
Well, that's it. As your coach and mentor, that's more about you. But I appreciate the question. What you can do for me is ensure that because I don't know land there. I know people jokingly call me the landman here because I know so much about it, and most people don't. They literally, I've been called the landman since before there was a TV show for like 20 years. You can ensure that I don't. What you can do for me is ensure that I don't buy a lemon.
Yeah.
And like because I really I hate wetlands. I don't want to buy a property that's been molested beyond all belief, meaning it's just been logged and I want that Pollyanna, and I know this is going to sound silly. I want that Pollyanna little house on a prairie feel where you got a nice open field, you drive through the gates, you see all the woods in the background, it can have a creek. I just want to feel what I felt before, which is this is mine. I own this. And yeah.
I'm going to put a bow in it because this is like been 15 minutes, and I want to modify our little game here a little bit. And you guys have been watching. Raise your hand And let's go ahead and Matt, keep your answers pithy.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know. In this particular case, I don't think we've got to the center of the Tootsie Pop inside of 5 questions, but it's been a good thought process.
Mhm.
If you have a question you want to ask him, I'll give you one question. Let's keep digging on Matt. Matt, I'll give you a quick answer because I don't think we're there yet. And I'll start it off by saying, here's the question that's coming through my mind. Why Mississippi?
Oh, sure.
No, hang on, Tiff. I'm talking to Matt now. Why Mississippi?
Well, now we're getting deep. I don't want to do it here. I can't do it here emotionally.
Well, you're telling me where you don't want to do it. But why Mississippi? There's probably 20 other states that would give you that. Why Mississippi?
Well, so that's not really deep. But it's a mild climate. It's not a huge culture shock from here. It's not the deserts of Arizona. It has trees.
Got it.
So, yeah.
So I'm going to go on. All right. Have you made the decision that Mississippi will be this new place for you?
I'm like 99% sure.
Then there's a reason, because you could do that in Carolinas and you could do it in Alabama. Why Mississippi, Matt? I'll go to your hands next.
Mhm.
But for me, I want to know. People always looking at Fort Myers or whatever. I'm thinking they're want to move.
Why
to
Fort
Florida.
Myers? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
There's something about an emotional tie that he's not shared yet with Mississippi. And I'm guessing that's the case because he's 99% sure, but he hasn't articulated it. How many people have that thought? Is there something about Mississippi, Matt?
Well, not a deep emotional piece. It proves that I can do it on my own elsewhere. That's one. That's emotional. But the other piece is, yeah, you could do it in the Carolinas. You could do it in Tennessee. You could do it in Kentucky. I don't want mountains. I don't want because my family's owned property on the side of a mountain before. Well, what's 5 acres on the side of a mountain good for? Nothing, because you fall down it. So I just want land as far as the eye can see.
All right. So Kevin, do you have a question? Your hand has been up. Then Derek, you have a question. What is it? We're on this role play right now with Matt because I'm still not. I'm going to let Mississippi go for a moment.
Mhm.
But I would still dig there. Derek, do you have a question?
Yeah, you said we have one for Matt.
Yeah.
The question I'll ask is, what happens if you don't?
Well, my doorbell rings.
Well,
No, that was your doorbell.
Yeah, that was my phone.
What happens if you don't answer the door?
Yeah. What happens if I don't? What happens if I don't get land in Mississippi? Well, I buy more property in Florida, buy another rental.
Okay.
So that question, Derek, is, I would say, I don't, it doesn't come up on my radar screen. There's no such thing as a bad question, but I wouldn't put that in my top 20. That question is a great question when someone is a buyer or a seller and they are being unrealistic about something.
Right.
Yeah, you have to say, well, what if that never happens? The other question other road, Carlos, I'll go to your next. The other thing you said, you missed it. If you could roll back the clock and do it where you are, you're looking back, you missed it. I forget how many years you said ago.
Mm-hmm.
You could have your 5 acres. What would you do differently if you could roll back the clock?
It's a good question. I would do it here.
Why?
Because despite the pain that I feel about losing what I had, I feel like if I could go back and do it on my own and get land here, that I would be able to have the emotional connection that I want here just as much.
And I'll go to you, Carlos, and then Michelle and Robin. Here's my follow-up on that. When you say you would do it, what is it?
I've owned a lot of houses. I want to have a home.
I guess
Yeah.
it's another road. I mean, how many people think, man, there's a lot of ways to go down. So I've got a bazillion questions. Carlos, you have a question. Keep going. He's giving you, there's an
Yes.
emotion here somewhere, and you put the clues together, get out your Sherlock Holmes magnifying glass. It goes back to his marriage.
Okay.
I wonder, there's an emotional tie somewhere. He's not revealed it yet. Carlos, go.
Matt, may I ask you why now?
I'm rich. I don't know. I mean,
Then layer
Go
that,
ahead.
Carlos. Layer that. He's rich. If you had
Okay,
wait,
rich in what sense?
no, that's not it. That's not it.
no.
Okay, it was just
Now, hang on a
joking.
minute. I would help you. You're on a good road.
Okay.
When did you originally want to do this, man?
Phew. 10 years ago.
Now, what, Carlos, you want to do a follow-up? I have a follow-up already.
Okay. And what has stopped you doing that 10 years ago?
Good question.
I lost the love of my life.
Now we're getting there. Now you had better tread with slippers. So Michelle, can you stay on that train of thought? Don't change the train of thought. If you can't, we'll stay with Carlos.
Yeah. And how would this new property,
You're going to properties. He just
Oh.
lost the love of his life. You're talking about property. You're
Right.
ruining the moment.
okay.
Tell me.
And
more.
how will this,
No. Just tell me more about that, Matt.
okay, tell me more about,
With emotion. Tell me more about that, Matt.
tell me more about that, Matt.
He's not acting now.
Yeah, this is a tearjerker for sure.
Matt, it breaks my heart.
It's all right.
I'm
It's all
sorry.
right. That's what this
Yeah,
is about.
Let him go. Let him go. Silence now.
Yeah. We had a townhome, 2 dogs. My son was a little boy. And we had an opportunity to get 5 acres next door to my father-in-law. And I was scared. I was always scared financially. I was always so scared financially. And we did it though. We got the land and we were going to build our dream home there. And I cashed out my public stock to put a down payment on our dream home. I was so scared financially. 2 months after moving onto the property, my wife left me. And I lost it all.
First of all, Matt, I'm sorry.
Hang on. He's not done. Don't ruin the moment.
Yeah. So, to Carlos's question, why now? Oh man, because I've got money. Now I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid anymore. Why not here? Because I just don't feel like I could do it here. Just because I own a lot of property, guys. I own a lot of houses. I want to have something of mine now that I can let go of the past. So that's all.
And what does,
Michelle, Tone is everything now.
And what does letting go of the past look like for you?
Proving to myself that I can do this, that my success is not contingent upon somebody else. So
Right.
putting down roots, finding a piece of property in a similar climate, similar landscape, which is what Mississippi is. That it's not cost prohibitive. You can buy a lot of property there and do it myself and transcend the issue, the emotional ties I have here.
So I'm going to, we do this in Hold Room a lot. When we finish a coaching session, you get into motion, I'm going to kind of bring everybody back out of that. Matt, let's give him a knuckle bump for being transparent. I think we all learned a little bit more about Matt. Matt probably learned a little bit more about his feelings too, but what did you learn in this exercise? And this is what's important. Raise your digital hand and let's talk about what you learned. And then we'll kind of close this out, because when you get to that emotional level of connection, we know Matt's been with us, a long time. But if you can get to that emotional connection with your client, they're not using another real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, Aretha.
So I was curious to know, well, first I would like to thank you very much for your vulnerability and your
Sure.
honesty. Honestly, I'm taken aback because usually in these type of situations, when I have a conversation with a client and they telling me about their passing of their spouse or something, I struggle. I
Yeah.
struggle with those moments,
Well,
and I'm not sure if it's
she's
okay to
alive.
dive
She's alive.
in.
She's alive. She's
Yeah.
alive. She left me.
Yeah.
And she was the love of my life. And what makes matters worse is she came back 2 years later, but then left again. So,
Right.
yeah.
So if you want to finish your point.
Yeah, so but thank you for the clarification. I really appreciate that. However, but yeah, even in situations where they're going through a divorce, I'm not sure if it's okay for me to completely dive in. The vulnerability I appreciate, the honesty I appreciate, but there's also a fine line between being professional and like when you're trying to really make a connection with a person. So for me, it was a big aha when it was like, it's okay to be human. It's okay to have a pulse. If y'all gonna have a crying moment for that moment, it's okay to cry. And it's
100%.
okay to also be like, how do we move forward? Let's move forward together. I think I just had that aha of vulnerability, transparency, and also compassion will
Yeah.
definitely go a long way. Even if
Right.
it doesn't lead to a sale, at least it
Yeah.
leads to a
Listen,
relationship.
I 100% love it when I make people cry. And
So
it happens a lot. So
let me try to clear this out, Matt. So Aretha, you bring up a really good point. We're not priests or marriage counselors or grief specialists necessarily. There is a line when you get to a certain point with a client, we kind of have to know where to stop.
Yeah.
And we could, I mean, there's some things I would say to Matt. I might say them here now, or I might say them privately. That would be beyond the line of your real estate professional. That's why when they share that with you, when you come back, you're going to have to be you're going to have to change your motion. That's why I said to Michelle, your tone is everything. Have a little empathy. Wow. I see. And rather than just being like a checklist, your next question. But again, you have to know when to stop. One more thing I'll say to you guys, we have to deal with emotional situations, death of a spouse, a child, a divorce. There's a lot of bad things that happen. They need our help. It's all about our role, not our identity.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks. Okay, Darlene, you're next.
I just wanted to thank Matt for his vulnerability and showing us how in the real world it's so important for us to take the time to connect, to be empathetic, and to just outside of these 5 quick questions that we had to do, knowing that in an interview situation, when you're sitting there face to face, you just need to take the time to understand what they are looking for,
Well,
what's really behind the motivation.
The TLDR is stop focusing on criteria.
Right.
For everybody. It's like the TLDR is just, it's not about criteria. It's why are you doing this? When do you need to do it by? What happens if you don't? And I dummied it down to those 3 things, but that in that there is the emotion of it. I don't give a crap about criteria when I'm helping a client. I give a crap about what's the significance of this.
So let's go back to Tiffany's role play. Tiffany, you did that really well on Matt's point, because he took several minutes and he gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pieces of criteria. And your first question had nothing to do with the criteria. You said, what's making you do this in the first place?
Yeah.
You start at 10,000 feet, then you start going down.
Mm-hmm.
Most agents would go into criteria. So
yeah, tell me about that 50 acres.
So yes. And then, when Matt started getting into the emotion part of it, none of that came up. None of it did.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos, Debbie, you're up.
Oh, I just was going to say what I learned. And what I learned is to just keep asking questions until you really get to their big why. And you'll know that because there'll be some level of emotion. And then you need to totally pause.
Yeah.
And listen and react with compassion. And the tone of voice, I think, is so important.
I call it let the words fall.
Right.
Like give them room to breathe. It's like a wine. When you open the bottle of wine, you let it breathe. Let the emotions breathe. Let the words breathe. And yeah, Gary Ubaldini, Denny knows Ubaldini well. A lot of us do. But he's talked about, going 7 layers deep. Why, and eventually it gets to the crux of it.
Right.
Oh, right.
Take a big pause. Yeah.
Kevin, you have a question?
Yeah. I had something very similar to this happen about 6 weeks ago. And I wasn't sure whether I was supposed to be acting like a priest or just showing empathy, or when to get out of there.
If you're talking to your best friend or a friend, and you're not as a real estate agent, be a friend. Sometimes it's being a role of a priest or whatever, but when you're wearing your real estate hat and this is not somebody that's that close to you, one rule doesn't fit all, but at least understand your role versus your identity. So you'll have to just use common sense in that. I don't think there's one role that fits everything. So
I was sitting on my couch last night talking to a client, and she gave me we were talking about our faith, and she gave me her testimony. Guys, people don't just give you their testimony, right? It's like, so you just like people that I coach, I may have a few coaching clients on this call, I'm not sure, like personal coaching clients. They know I don't have this system I coach from. Like, I don't coach from this book, this tablet, this epitaph of thou shalt not, right? It's I show up how they need me to each call, right? So we're not, no, here's my itinerary, here's my agenda. No, I show up how they need me to, when they need me to do it. Same thing with clients. I don't have an agenda, don't have an itinerary, don't have a curriculum. I show up how they need me to. And so should you.
Let's see. Who do we have? Debbie, your hand is still up. Is that for a reason? Michelle, did you have a question? Go ahead.
First of all, Matt, I really appreciate you sharing this with us, because the vulnerability is just amazing. And sometimes I feel like when I get someone to that point, maybe I'm not being as professional because we're taught to be professional, talk about the company, then talk about you, talk about what you can do for them. But what we have to focus on, and I see with you, is listen to the words and then try to empathize with them. Also, tonality is so important. My question is, um, for you, like, because when I'm like this, and I don't mind being like this, I feel like my appointments tend to go much longer. And
That's okay. You show up. I'll answer it with this because I think I know where you're going. You show up to your appointments for your clients how they need you to, when they need you to, and as long as they need you to.
this is why this is the best, like recon, because so many times we've been taught differently. Like
Yeah,
your
no, there's
appointment shouldn't last
the
longer
fi-
than
the
hours.
right.
Like
I'm interrupting purposely because this whole
it's
15
awesome.
minute listing appointment bullshit, excuse my French,
Yeah.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing that. Yes, I
Hmm.
get it. Mike Ferry, blah blah blah, the old guys, they'll tell you, yeah, you should be out in 15 minutes. Great. If you want to run your practice that way, run your practice that way.
Hmm.
I'm looking at truly being of service to people in all 5 areas of their life. I can't do that if I'm
Right.
only giving you 15 minutes of my time.
Right. I
So,
appreciate this one so much. Thank you guys.
got it. Robin.
Got a just plaguing question, Matt.
Yep.
Are you stepping away from real estate?
No, guys. Just so you know,
Thank God. Oh,
no,
coaches like you and Denny are amazing.
no. So, a couple quick things, guys. Just around the bend. Yes, I'm vulnerable. I'm happy to be vulnerable because it's my message, right? My mess is my message. My mess is my message. It's how it got me here. I'm grateful that I lost her. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Why? Because I wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for that. So I am so grateful to be where I'm at. And to Carlos's question, I'm rich. I wouldn't have, and when I say rich, guys, I'm not being a facetious prick. I was always so scared of money. Now I'm not. Now I have money and I know that I can manifest and I can create money. So no, long and short, I want to have, and all of you should have this desire, just so you know, to answer Robin's question. I'm not stepping away. I want to have the ability to. That's what I said. In 5 years, I want to have the ability to do whatever the hell I want to do. That's what this is. And all of you should have that inherent desire. You should want to have freedom. And the ultimate freedom is freedom of your time.
So, the lesson today about finding their why. Going back to the first role play, the seller who needed $900,000. We did that role play twice. No one got down to the emotional. We ran through that twice, right? Here was the deeper reason that I was holding back and waiting for you guys to uncover. I had lost a large amount of money in a business that I owned, and selling for less than 900,000, which was the peak of the market, brought me back to that failure, and I didn't want to be a failure again. So that 900,000 was tied to, in my mind, failure. Just like in Matt's situation, and again, this is probably where, and Matt, I'll just say this is probably where the line would be from a real estate agent to a marriage counselor. Matt has associated the 5 acres with losing the love of his life. In reality, it had nothing to do with the 5 acres. Mm-hmm. But that's somehow he's trying to recapture something. But I'm not going down that road because that's not my road as an agent to go down. He's trying to recapture something, probably, and I'm guessing, I don't know what happened in Matt's life. I'm not asking. I'm just saying there's generally something more to it. Now, Matt's role play, Matt, you can share the deeper emotional and the one you were doing with a specific home with the you kept going back to the kids. What was the deeper emotion there?
Yeah, guys. So in what Denny and I are talking about here is get the hell off the criteria Causeway, Criteria Causeway. We got to trademark that, Denny. Get off the Criteria Causeway, because criteria is only going to get you so far. In my role play, the buyer wanted a specific house. You know, I have this long list of criteria: home with the land and the school district, and Darlene started driving down the Criteria Causeway of, well, let's focus on the school. No, the reality was that my child was growing up and he was spending a lot of time away from home, and I felt like I lost the relationship. And I felt that getting a home with a yard and a pool would on an emotional level would cause them to want to be here with me, be with the family, come back to the house, hang out with us, nurture that relationship. That was the deep why.
Right. And so he mentioned kids twice, and I forgot, I think it was Darlene that was doing that role play. So he mentioned kids. So what they will give us clues. Now, every client you meet with, don't think you're going to be able to have a kind of a boohoo session. However, there's going to be I think this says it great right here. Look at the slide behind me. Their first why is usually logistical, but there's probably an emotional level beneath that, which you should try to tap into. You don't have to solve their problems, but at least understand them. So I have one question for you, Matt.
Yep.
If I was your agent, Tiffany's going to be your agent, there's still a question mark in my mind. I wouldn't press it, but in my mind, I'm curious. He's 99% sure it's Mississippi. I think there could be other states that can give all the rolling hills, not forests, not wetlands, blah, blah, blah. I'm curious why. There's got to be a connection somewhere else to Mississippi. What is it about Mississippi?
Well, actually, you know, I don't know that it's a real emotional thing. More than we talked about money earlier. Mississippi is affordable. Tax structure is good. You know, you get a lot of land for not a lot of money. So I think, Denny, actually, you might have hit on another heartstring, though, now that I'm thinking about it, which is I think there's still a little bit of a fear, a little bit of a remember I said I was always afraid. I was always afraid of money. Probably Mississippi, 99%, because of how affordable it is. Versus, would I do it in Florida? Would I do it in Georgia? Would I do it in Tennessee? Because like you said, you can get it elsewhere. Maybe. But I think there's that fear of, it's the reason why guys, I've been radically transparent with you guys on here. I'm the first millionaire in my family. But there's a reason why I only live in I bought it for $250,000. There's a reason I still live in this house. I haven't stretched myself. I've bought other property. I have rentals. You know, I have money, but there's a reason I haven't leveled up, and I think it's fear.
Yeah.
So to answer Denny's question, I think that Mississippi is because it's comfortable. I'm not stretching.
As your agent in Mississippi, when you said you're 99% sure, I would say, okay, what would the 1% look like?
Me getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
No, you said 99% you'd go to Mississippi. 1% you wouldn't go to Mississippi. What would have to happen for that 1% to happen?
Like the 1% to not go to Mississippi, it would be for me to. I mean, I answered it, but it's for me to be a big boy, realize that I'll be okay if I spend more money. And
well, see, my question wasn't not making the decision. I wanted to know, you decide if you could find the 25 acres with those criteria and it happens to be in Alabama, would you consider it? I would want to know that as an agent, because if that could happen, then I know that I got competition, and it's not him not making a decision. It could be a piece of property somewhere else.
That's right. Well, yeah, I guess to answer your question, yeah, probably. But Mississippi is it climate wise and topography, it's fairly similar to Florida. I don't know a lot about Alabama. I've only researched, but yeah. So to answer your question, there could be that 1% where it ends up being somewhere that's just as cost effective. Yeah, so there is the 1%.
So as you guys, would you want to know that if you're working with someone? Yeah, you know,
100%.
I would want to know. I would want to know. Carlos, your hand's still up. Is that left over?
Yeah, I just wanted to that one, excuse me, that 1%. I would, sorry, I would go a little bit deeper on that. And I wanted to ask Matt, have you ever lived in Mississippi? Were you going before?
No, been there. I've been through it. It's guys. The other thing is like Mississippi is Mississippi is a vacuum. And maybe if Tiffany can hear me, she can nod her head yes or no. But Mississippi is a vacuum. And what I mean is it's not the area where you buy real estate and it appreciates significantly. It is a snail. So that's why I kind of like that. I've never lived there before, but it's stable. And Denny will attest to this. Florida is anything but stable. It is anything but. It was 20 and 30 years ago to some degree, but it's anything but stable now. The higher the high, the lower the lows. We are one of the most volatile housing markets in the country.
Well, you guys have asked us a number of times about, Matt and I actually are talking tomorrow. We have an appointment tomorrow to work on some pro formas, some ideas to get the coaching program rolling. As you can see, RECON's different. We are developing a family, a tribe, and you guys, I appreciate you being on. You're the faithful. It can grow. We want to share with you not only what to say, but what to think. And as you can tell, we're pretty real here. So tell your friends to join us, and we'll be bringing you more information as we come forward. So thanks for being on, Matt. Thanks for being transparent. Yep. I will send the referral form to Tiffany. Yeah, that's right. And then, guys, what Denny just quickly brushed over, because he uses he uses few words. I was going to say little words. He uses few words. The coaching program, we're having a conversation about it tomorrow, the group coaching program. So if you are genuinely interested in group coaching or know others on this call that are, and you haven't emailed us, you need to email us because we're going to talk about it. We're going to structure it. And once we set the groups up, there's no go backs. We're not going to be setting up new groups every single week.
Hey,
we're
guys.
Gonna roll up. Yeah.
You said tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, is it not?
Yeah, Denny and I are talking, not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean? Right. So,
yeah. Tomorrow.
So Matt, we got to go. Can you spell Mississippi?
MISSISSIPPI.
That's you probably learned that song at school. And
that's right.
Probably why you want to be there. Love you guys. See you guys.
Love you guys. See ya.